Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name's Andrew, and on this channel we talk about entrepreneurship, personal finance, and the psychology of money. My goal today is to facilitate or start some kind of interaction or dialogue or relationship with you and how you think about money, how you feel about it. Like other relationships, your relationship with money can either be defined as a good one or a bad one, or somewhere in between, but for the most part, usually we're at one of the two extremes. And if we don't look at that relationship, we probably land somewhere in the middle here. But the goal of this video and the goal of this channel is to help you reflect on that and see, what kind of life you want to live. And do you want to have your money control you, or do you want to control your money and control your life? You think about your life and what it is you work towards, what it is that makes you happy, what's on your mind, what you focus on. It's probably your job, probably your family, your friends, potentially your investments. But for the most part, you're focused on these things that bring you happiness and bring you meaning. A lot of the time, those things require money or require some kind of substance, some trade of value. And that's really all money is a symbol for value of I'm going to give you this for that. And we decide on some kind of price or some kind of value trade, and that's where the money comes in. Your employer gives you X number of dollars for X number of hours of your work. Your landlord or your bank that you pay your mortgage to says you can own or have this house or this apartment if you give us, these many dollars per month. We live our life around this concept of money, this idea of money, this, trade, if you will, of time and of value and of work. It's important to look and see, is that a relationship and a trade that we're happy with, or is it something that we're unhappy with? How do we want to go forward? Your relationship with money can be like a bad relationship or a good relationship. There's either going to be enough of it and you're going to be satisfied and happy, or you're going to be worrying and stressed and fighting and have trust and control issues. And my question to you is, what type of relationship do you want to have? And if you're watching this video, hopefully you're at the point of examining, how do I want to think about money, or how do I think about money? And how can I change that to live a happy life, or the most happy life I can? An old guy a long time ago said that the only life that's worth living is an examined life, meaning that we need to reflect and look back on our beliefs, our decisions, our actions, and how we interact with the world, if you will. And my goal is to share that concept or that idea with how we view our relationship with money and happiness, well-being, contentedness, whatever you want to call it. I like the term well-being more. I think that happiness is very short-lived or short-term, whereas well-being is something that we can strive to pursue. Happiness is an experience or an emotion we feel in the present, whereas overall well-being is something that we attain or work towards, more of a lifelong kind of thing. How you view money and your relationship with money is going to directly impact your overall well-being in life and your happiness in life. I make these videos and share my thoughts and my ideas to try and add happiness to other people's lives, to provide entertainment and laughs sometimes, and to hopefully share some experiences that I've gone through that can make your life better in some way, or that can enhance your level of well-being going forward. And I think one of the most important things to look at is the relationship that you have with money and happiness and your well-being and how you perceive that. And my goal today is to share that there are systems and actions and behaviors you can put in place that will aid in increasing your levels of happiness and changing how you view money, changing it from a finite resource that I only have X of to a tool that allows me options. And that's really how I perceive money, is it's something that allows you options. If you have it, you have variability, you have flexibility, you can do what you want in life to some extent. And when you don't have it, life does things to you, and you are living a reactionary life, which is not a good setup for happiness. There's really two ways to perceive the world and two ways to act, either reactionary or proactively. When we react proactively, we're setting up systems in place, we're living a life with intent, with a plan, with goals. We are driven, we are focused on what we want, and we pursue those things. But if you live a reactive life, you're always reacting to what happens to you. You are not prepared. You don't have that emergency fund, even though you've thought about setting it up and saving it. You don't have a retirement account because you want to live in the present, because you don't worry about the future and only want to, plan for the present or plan for the weekend. Whereas planning for the future and living a life with, purpose and intent will really help you increase your level of happiness, increase your level of well-being, and, over time, increase your level of wealth, really, because you're planning ahead for the future. You're going to be ahead of all these other people who are living a reactionary life, who are not saying, you know what, I'm going to set 1, 2, 3 goals this year. I want to purchase for my first house or purchase investment property. I want to max out my IRA contribution or max out my 401k. Those people are living with goals in mind. They are focusing on those goals, and they are either keeping themselves accountable or have a system to keep themselves accountable. And that's what I want to pass on, is that these systems can be extremely helpful and can help you have a better life. So examine your life. Examine why you're on this channel and why you're pursuing more money. Are you pursuing it for happiness? Are you expecting that that new truck or new fast car is going to make you happy? That being able to buy a new Rolex is going to make your life better? That you'll be able to impress your friends and family, and in some way that'll make your life have more meaning? Well, I'm sad to tell you that you are wrong. Happiness does not equate with your level of wealth. Happiness is not a dollar amount. There are millionaires who are unhappy, there are billionaires who are unhappy, and there are poor people all across the United States, all across the world, who are very happy. And what matters is your perception of money, your relationship with money, and how you feel about it. And I'll also tell you that this is not your fault. This is not something that happened by accident. This is a series of systems that has been planned out for hundreds of years, designed to focus on you being a consumer, to make you want more things, to make you purchase more things, to say, I never have enough. I'm keeping up with the Joneses. They buy a new car, I have to buy a fancier car. That's not a random chance. That's millions, if not billions, probably billions of dollars are spent every year on marketing, on trying to tell you that you don't have enough, you never will, and there's no dollar amount where you'll be happy. If you had $5 million in your bank account tomorrow, would you be any happier? Maybe. I mean, you'd enjoy that for the short term and a while, but what would happen is you'd have more security. And that security would allow you to make the choices that you might not have if you're, only $100 or $200 in your account. You might not have the opportunity to look for a different job that you would enjoy more, or to spend money on your kids and time with your kids. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to choose what you want to do. So this isn't your fault, and it's not something that's easy to escape, and it's not something that's profitable for other companies, for massive corporations to encourage you to escape. We're a capitalist society, we're a consumer-based society. Massive corporations don't make money if you say, I'm happy with what I have for the most part. I don't need to buy a new car every 2 years. I don't need to buy another 70-inch screen TV. I'm happy with what I have, and the most important things to me are, time with my family and friends, having, the ability to be healthy, to have the time to take care of myself in that way. Things that you can buy with money and that money allows the freedoms for, but things that people who are very wealthy oftentimes don't have the access to, or don't have the ability to sacrifice and choose to do those things. If you're working 70 hours a week, you probably don't have time to spend as much, you probably can't spend as much time with your kids and your family as you want to. You're probably not able to take care of your health and exercise regularly, or read, or do things you enjoy. You're trading your hours of your life for something of value, some dollar amount that is supposed to make you happy, or that is going to make your life better in some way. Well, maybe that's something you want to take a look at. And the wonderful thing about money and your relationship and your mindset is it's as easy to change as stopping and thinking about it for 10 minutes. Stopping, closing your eyes helps me think. When I meditate, that's something I enjoy doing, is closing my eyes and focusing on the thoughts that I am trying to orient myself on. And I try and think about money every week, because it's very easy for me to forget that I have everything I need. I have all my basic needs met, and I have a very happy, enjoyable life. It's very easy to forget that and to focus on that dollar amount and equate that dollar amount with happiness, and equate that dollar amount with what I need next and my goals. The idea that having those goals and setting those goals is extremely healthy and something everyone should do, but only focusing on those goals and nothing else at the expense of the present and the expense of enjoying right now, that's a recipe for disaster. And that's the whole idea of, if you get caught in your head of thinking, I have to work harder, I have to work more, I need a better job because I need more money to make myself happier, it's just a recipe for disaster. You may have heard the quote that we work jobs we don't like to buy things we don't need to impress people we don't care about, or some variation thereof. And it's extremely true. If we don't analyze our life and look at our relationship with money and how we handle our finances, how we live our lives, and reflect on that, we end up living based on what society tells us, based on what the news tells us, what advertisements on the television, the cell phone, Facebook, bombarding you every day, everywhere you look is someone telling you what you need, what you want, and what's going to make you happy. And all of it costs money, and all of it is short term, because they need you coming back for more. It's, comparable to a drug. McDonald's doesn't make money if you eat McDonald's once and never come back again. Pepsi doesn't get rich if you buy one Pepsi and decide, I don't think I need another one of these for a month or two. They make money because they encourage and in fact almost force you to buy these things by blasting you with ads, telling you need it, and creating products that are highly addictive. Without looking at your life and without looking at what you want and how you live, those things will take advantage of you. They'll take advantage of our reptilian brain, the part of us that, is thinking about pleasure and thinking about avoiding pain. That's the back here of our brain, that's all that's for, is how do I make sure I don't get hurt and how do I make sure I feel good? And the quickest way to do that is to give someone a bunch of money or give them a job where they get money, because that's going to cause a dopamine and serotonin dump. And the way we avoid that is by not doing things that are not fun or that are painful, like saving money. It's not fun to save money. It's not enjoyable. Maybe at the end of the day, or after a month or two, or a year or two, it's enjoyable. But when you start out, delaying that gratification is not fun. Delaying gratification is difficult. It's not what our reptilian brain wants. Our reptilian brain wants us to say, hey, go spend that money. You earned it. You earned a new truck. You earned a new furniture. Can't afford it? Here's a credit card. Finance it. Get in debt and debt and debt and debt until you're under a mountain of debt. But you have all these things that make you happy. You have the new couch, the new car, new kitchen, whatever it is you purchase. And then you think to yourself, none of these things made me that much happier. And now I have a lot of debt. Is that the kind of relationship you want to have with money? Or do you want to have a different one? So that's my question to you. If you've enjoyed this content and are interested in learning more about this, my adventures in personal finance, real estate, investing, things like that, think about subscribing, toss a like, toss a comment down below. How do you want your relationship with money to be, and do you want it to change from how it is right now? I do this for you guys. My whole goal is to try and share knowledge, the little bit that I have, and to bring value to your life. So if I'm able to do that, let me know what other video topics you would be interested in hearing, and I'm happy to keep doing this and share with you guys.